System+Invincibility+Blizzard+Duozi Duofu+Sect development. As soon as Xu Chengyu crossed over, he unexpectedly awakened the multi-child and multi-blessing system. Continuously giving birth can earn you an incredible reward. At the beginning, the sect leader died and encountered a sect crisis. Don't worry. Let me have a baby with the virgin first. Not qualified. Ding. Congratulations on the birth of the host's offspring, awakening the chaotic spiritual body, and rewarding the chaotic spiritual roots. Is the martial arts not good? Ding. Congratulations on the birth of the host's offspring, awakening the supreme bone of the extreme path, and returning the deduction technique of the imperial scriptures. Is the development of the sect not feasible? Ding. Congratulations on the birth of the host's son, awaken the three-eyed double pupils, and return the golden spirit ancient dragon. Your cultivation is only one step away from entering the fairyland. After a long time prosperous times have arrived, and the Xu family has emerged. What is the terrifying power behind the Xu family and why are the saints vying to marry? The gatekeeper of the purebred dragon clan. Any elder in the clan is the supreme ancient emperor. The power of bloodline is even more terrifying. Have you ever heard of the nine-spirit immortal king's body? The legend of an immortal under 10 years old. Chapter 1. Senior Sister, Princess of the Dynasty. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Great Qin Dynasty. A deserted city. Qingyun sect's back mountain. A young man slowly opened his eyes and briefly looked around. A flicker of excitement flickered in his eyes. I didn't expect to really travel. The young man's real name is Xu Chengyu. 2.5 minutes ago, he was still at home, discussing the recent trends of Qingyun with his own beloved Xuanhuan. The debate over whether backpacks are the latest trend of the year was too intense. I wanted to drink some cold water to suppress my surprise, but I was choked to death and then traveled to this world. As memories surged in his mind, Xu Chengyu quickly understood his current situation and became an inner disciple of the Qingyun sect. Saying it's an inner disciple is just a nice way of saying it. There were hundreds of cities in the Great Qin Dynasty, and the desolate city where Qingyun sect was located was just a last-tier city, let alone this non-mainstream sect. The most deadly thing is that the leader of Qingyun sect died outside the city 7 days ago due to an accident. Nowadays, there is a hidden tide surging within the sect, and the strongest elder has the intention of rebellion. Overall, it can be considered a headwind start, and it's not much different from those walkers next door. At the beginning, there will be a great emperor, and even if things don't go well, there will still be some imperial bloodline or some sage protector. I have nothing here, and my predecessor was punished for sneaking a peek at my junior sister taking a shower and facing the mountain wall for a year. Such a disciple-like behavior is truly a disgrace to my identity as the top fan of Xuanhuan. Thinking of this, Xu Chengyu couldn't help but start whispering softly. Tongzi. Tongzi. If you're here, can you give a response? We have all traveled through time. How can we be a salted fish without strength? This will only embarrass the senior travelers. The words have just finished. A cold mechanical sound sounded in Xu Chengyu's ear. Detected perfect LSP attribute, multi-child and multi-blessing system is currently being turned on. Please wait. LSP. Tell me. What kind of person am I? That's what he said, but Xu Chengyu still had excitement in his eyes. After all, this is a system. The key to reaching the pinnacle of life in this world is oneself. Ding. Congratulations to the host for successfully opening the ultimate multi-child and multi-blessing system. The newcomer gift package has been distributed to the back end. Xu Chengyu couldn't help but speak up. Adong, what's going on? We need to introduce some, right? The ultimate multi-child and multi-blessing system. As long as the host is able to give birth to offspring, they can receive rewards. The higher the potential of offspring's qualifications, the richer the reward. So the suggestion of this system is to abandon the neighboring breeding behavior, give birth to more eugenics, and have a prosperous life in order to help the host reach the pinnacle of life faster. We have opened up side quests. In addition, the host can expand their powerful influence to earn points. After a brief introduction, Xu Chengyu quickly understood his main task. It's similar to what the system says, as long as you have more offspring. As for the task of that branch line, it was completely given away for nothing. After all, with more offspring and increasing strength, can we not develop our power? If that's the case, what's different from salted fish? The use of integral values can improve cultivation and enhance one's understanding of martial arts. Currently, Xu Chengyu only knows so much. I heard that as long as the number of offspring reaches 10, you can increase your permissions and unlock more gameplay. Not bad, not bad. Xu Chengyu is still very satisfied in his heart. There are no mandatory requirements, and there is a kind of mental disability setting that requires punishment for tasks that are not completed. This kind of freedom is what I want. Thinking of the new lucky bag reward in the system backend, he continued to speak. Atong, help me open the new person's lucky bag and gift package. Opening the newcomer lucky bag gift package. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 9 absolute spear body, which is the strongest constitution among the holy bodies in terms of understanding the meaning of the spear. A little cold light will arrive first. Tianfu Daodi. Taboo constitution. Committed to creating a 9,999 titanium alloy iron kidney for the host. After fusion, it will completely break free from the little man and become a truly terrifying pile-driving violent machine. This constitution can be further strengthened as the host's cultivation improves. Breaking Spirit Spear. Advanced Spirit Weapon of Spiritual Products. Gu Ling Jiu Xuan Gun Technique. Advanced Spiritual Skill. Dragon Walking Step. The strongest body technique among spiritual products. By penetrating this technique, one can penetrate deep into the mortal world and escape from the white swallow. 5th grade 3 pattern Extreme Dao Pill. The most suitable pill for cultivation under the divine condensing realm, abbreviated as the cultivator gas station. Quantity 1 kilogram. 7 level 5 pattern Dao Yuan Dan can restore all internal injuries in the crossing realm, and also has a strong ability to repair physical disabilities. 1 in quantity. 100,000 points for newcomers. Before Xu Chengyu could react, a powerful spiritual force instantly surged into his body. Every meridian flowing rapidly from Dantian to the body, every cell is being crazily strengthened. After a moment of breathing, the cultivation began to rapidly improve. Instantly break through to the heavenly Yuan realm. Tianyuan 3rd rank. Tianyuan 9 steps. Combining the 3rd order. Combining 9 levels. Finally, at the position of the first step of the Dao Palace, he slowly stopped. Slowly standing up, Xu Chengyu could already feel the terrifying spiritual power surging inside his body, which was self-evident compared to before. This is just a fusion of physical fitness, which has already achieved 2 levels of cultivation improvement. This change is simply not too pleasant. Improving cultivation is just the first step, the key is the terrifying rewards one by one. Any spiritual artifact or technique is of the highest level of spiritual quality, even though it is invincible compared to the neighboring emperor's level at the beginning, and the hundreds of thousands of pounds of Wudao tea are not comparable. Xu Chengyu knows the truth that chewing too much is not enough, and he is already very satisfied with this result. Especially that day, Fu Dao tea was simply a man's ultimate dream. I originally thought that I could improve my physical fitness first, at least a bit stronger than the situation in my previous life where I had to start again after 3 minutes of single row. I didn't expect to directly transform into a perpetual motion machine. Wonderful, it's really amazing. As for the 100,000 points, Xu Chengyu didn't even think about it and just used them. Consume 10,000 points. Breaking through the small achievement of the ancient spirit 9-turn spear technique. Consume 20,000 points. Ancient spirit 9 transformations. Breakthrough achievements. Consume 50,000 points. Ancient spirit 9. Breakthrough completed. Now with his strength, he is confident that he is invincible below the 7th level of the Dao Gong. This is the confidence after opening the game. Just as I was about to take out the spirit-breaking gun and familiarize myself, the familiar mechanical sound in my mind rang out again. There are suitable candidates for childbirth detected, please go as soon as possible. Do you want to view the information? View. Xu Chengyu didn't hesitate and spoke directly. Quickly, a character information panel appeared before my eyes. Qin Cici, cultivation. Xuanhuan 3rd level, physical condition. Exquisite 7 orifices and a long heart. Qualification. Orange, status. Severe internal injury, combined with physical damage. From the great Qin dynasty Qin Cici. Seeing this name, a familiar figure quickly appeared in Xu Chengyu's heart. Qin Cici was appointed as the next leader of the Qingyun sect by Xu Qing. Simply put, it means having strong talent and strength. At first, my predecessor wanted to sneak a peek, but for the first time, I realized that he was almost beaten to death. If it weren't for Xu Qing's appearance, he might not have been what he is now. I didn't expect that this little girl's background is not simple, she is actually a princess of the dynasty. Xu Chengyu murmured. After a brief review of the experience, he quickly understood. It goes without saying that the broken system and the illegitimate daughter of the king of Qin are likely the hands behind the influence of a legitimate prince, as the plot has developed in the past. Although the great Qin dynasty is still growing, the power within the dynasty is constantly dividing. The Qin king is old, and although the crown prince is still alive, everyone knows that the current crown prince is just a puppet. The dynasty is divided into 2 factions, with the second prince as one, and the support of the Zhuge family, the largest member of the dynasty, is behind it. The other faction is Princess Qingyun, with the support of Duofu+Sect behind her. Each family is responsible for the 5 major families and 5 major sects of the dynasty. Duofu+Sect was later supported by the king of Qin with the aim of avoiding the dominance of the Zhuge family. Soon, Xu Chengyu shook his head and reorganized his thoughts, which was not what he should be thinking now. Let's go meet my future daughter. Law. P.S. Realm Building Foundation, Earth Yuan, Heaven Yuan, Combination, Dao Palace, Shen Ning, Dong Tian, Zi Fu, Duan Jie, Du Jie, Ling Zun, Xingyang, Gu Sheng, Emperor Realm. Chapter 2. Senior Sister. Do you want to have a baby? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Not far from the back mountain. It is the cultivation place created for the leader of Qingyun sect. But since Xu Qing had an accident, that place has become exclusive to Qin Cici. Standing outside the hall, Xu Chengyu was taken aback by the shimmering formation. The defense formation of the Dao Gong realm. As soon as she realized, Xu Qing's unexpected death had a significant impact on Qin Cici. Nowadays, she doesn't trust the other members of the sect so much. After just a moment of contemplation, Xu Chengyu raised his hand and fired a shot, shattering the formation. Then he slowly walked in. Inside the hall. Qin Cici opened her eyes with a hint of vigilance in her eyes. The spiritual power of Qingyun's 3rd level instantly enveloped me. Before she could get up, a figure in a black robe quickly appeared in front of her, and the deep voice echoed in her ears. Long time no see. Seeing her familiar appearance, Qin Cici frowned slightly and spoke directly. Deng Tuzi, how dare you leave the cliff without permission? Do you want to be expelled from your sect? Due to previous events, Qin Cici didn't have a good expression towards Xu Chengyu either. Before she could continue speaking, her face suddenly changed, as if she had thought of something. Did you break the formation outside the hall? Qin Cici's face showed a subtle change. That defensive formation was left by Xu Qing, not to mention Xu Chengyu, a small cultivator in the Diyuan realm. Even ordinary first-level experts in the Dao Palace realm may not find it easy to destroy. Now Xu Chengyu walked in so easily. This is also the reason that shocked Qin Cici's heart. Xu Chengyu did not respond immediately, holding a pot of spirit wine, and slowly sat in front of her. His gaze briefly surveyed Qin Cici in front of him. It has to be said that this woman is currently the most exquisite that Xu Chengyu has ever seen, both in terms of figure and appearance. The light red gauze skirt was faintly visible, and one could still vaguely see the white long legs under the hem of the skirt. What attracted Xu Chengyu the most was Qin Cici's ethereal demeanor, her red lips, small mouth, and tearful big eyes, and the messy green hair scattered on her shoulders behind her. It seems like a white moonlight model independently created by AI in a previous life. Seeing that Xu Chengyu did not respond, but instead kept staring at her, her straight and sharp gaze made her feel very uncomfortable. Qin Cici's tone suddenly became a bit cold. What exactly do you want to do? The spiritual power around me is still constantly flowing. Upon seeing this, Xu Chengyu withdrew his gaze and spoke calmly. I know you are practicing so hard just to help your master guard the sect. I can help you. Apart from Xu Qing, no one in the sect knows the origin of Qin Cici. The only clear thing is that 5 years ago, it was Xu Qing who brought Qin Cici back to the sect. At that time, Qin Cici was already seriously injured. Combining the introduction of Qin Cici in the previous character panel, Xu Chengyu quickly sorted out his thoughts. As soon as this sentence is spoken, Qin Cici fell into contemplation and had been living in a place like the palace since childhood, making her mind more mature. Just because I was still young at the time, I didn't understand the truth of showing my sharpness. The feeling that Xu Chengyu appeared today is very different from before. A defensive formation that can break through this palace-level technique. It's already enough to shock her. Now these words made her doubt for a moment whether the junior brother in front of her was as said in a certain ancient scripture. Seized by a powerful residual soul. Otherwise, how could it be like this? It seems like a sudden enlightenment. What conditions? Qin Cici still did not relax her guard. She knew that there were no good things for no reason, and if something goes wrong, there will always be demons. Xu Chengyu slowly put down the spirit wine jug, with a curved corner of his mouth. I want you. Give me a baby. It's just that simple. The words have just finished. Qin Cici was completely dumbfounded. She guessed countless possibilities, but never thought of them. Having a baby. Isn't that saying I still want to marry him? Thinking of this, Qin Cici's little face blushed, and the coldness in her eyes grew even colder. Deng Tuzi. Are you here to humiliate me? The spiritual power of Qinyuan's third level suddenly erupted. The spiritual sword that appeared in his hand suddenly swung toward Xu Chengyu's position. Sword shadows float. The light and spirit flickered, looking a bit domineering. If it were before, Xu Chengyu could only be ruthlessly suppressed. But now, Xu Chengyu waved his hand and 2 dark gun shadows appeared behind him. In the blink of an eye, the sword's shadow shattered. Gun intent. What does double gun mean? Looking at the man in front of her, Qin Cici's beautiful eyes were already occupied by shock. Gun intent. Isn't it usually necessary to have a divine realm to comprehend, and it also requires a terrifying talent? How old is Xu Chengyu in front of him? Is it already a double gun? Such strength may already be able to crush all the geniuses in the great Qin dynasty. Now believe that I have this ability. Princess Qin. As soon as this sentence is spoken, Qin Cici's face completely changed, and a hint of panic flickered in her eyes. She couldn't believe how Xu Chengyu knew her identity. At that time, the number of people in the dynasty who could know about it was not more than their hands. You. How did you know? Who the hell are you? Qin Sisi can no longer sit still. She was well aware that as long as her identity was exposed, the entire Qingyun sect would cease to exist. Not to mention seeking revenge for her master. Xu Chengyu's face was calm, without any unnecessary expressions. He just looked at her and said lightly. I am your junior brother Qingyu. Now you can consider, have you met my conditions just now? Qin Sisi struggled in her heart, but she also knew very well that she had no other choice. Nowadays, the Qingyun sect does not have Su Qing's seat, and the elder has already had the intention of rebellion and wants to rise to power on his own. Qin Sisi was naturally very clear about the virtues of Lao Zimeo, and he didn't care about the life or death of the sect at all. The reason why I want the position of sect leader is to better obtain the resources of this sect, so that I can break through and cultivate in the Dao Palace. As for the elders who were loyal to Su Qing before, she didn't know how many others could support her. Tomorrow is the sect assembly. She doesn't have much time left. What if I don't agree? To treat oneself as a condition of benefit, Qin Sisi still felt a bit difficult to accept for a while. Disagree. Do you think you have a chance to choose? Xu Chengyu's words were mixed with a hint of mockery. Asking Qin Sisi is just a formality. Everyone already has this strength, who is willing to become a licking dog character. As soon as this sentence is spoken, the atmosphere fell silent again, and after a moment, his face finally softened. I can marry you as my wife, even if it's a concubine, but you have to agree to one condition. Speak up. Xu Chengyu didn't hesitate and spoke directly. Besides my master, I still need you to help me seek revenge. Xu Chengyu was not surprised by Qin Sisi's conditions. After all, this is a grudge against life, and no one can be so magnanimous as to choose to ignore it. The great Qin dynasty was just the beginning for him. Even the strongest Zhuge family today doesn't take too long to step under their feet. Okay. Without even thinking, Xu Chengyu readily agreed. Sisi. Before she could continue speaking, a young girl wearing a white training suit slowly walked in from the position behind the hall. When I saw Xu Chengyu, a hint of doubt flashed on his face. After hesitating for a moment, he carried the herb and continued walking towards Qin Sisi's position. Sisi, the medicine has already been taken today. Click. Before she could finish speaking, a gunshot intent condensed from a phantom instantly penetrated her body. The girl's eyes were full of disbelief. I didn't expect Xu Chengyu to take action against her. What are you doing? Qin Sisi's beautiful eyes widened instantly. Xu Chengyu only glanced lightly at the corpses on the ground and the medicinal herbs scattered on the ground. He certainly knew why Qin Sisi's reaction was so strong. Just because the girl Lin Xuanhuan he killed is currently the only person Qin Sisi trusts in the sect. From the first day they entered Qingyun sect, the two had already met. Until now, Lin Xuanhuan has been accompanying Qin Sisi as a younger sister. Take a good look yourself. What kind of medicine is this? P.S. Qualifications. White, yellow, blue, green, black, purple, orange, red, gold. Weapon cultivation level. Mortal, mystical, earthly, heavenly, spiritual, void, calamity, saint, emperor. After chapter 3, I will be your person. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The black medicinal juice was exposed on the ground, emitting a foul odor. It's completely different from the spiritual medicine Qin Sisi used to heal his wounds before. It is obvious that something has been added. Xu Chengyu didn't say anything nonsense and continued. Have you been feeling the pain of tearing in Dantian's position lately? As long as spiritual power is activated, there will be this feeling. This is heartbreaking spirit grass. Upon hearing this, Qin Sisi was stunned. What Xu Chengyu was saying was indeed her recent symptoms, and at first she didn't pay much attention. After all, I have been troubled by internal injuries for so many years, and I have had such symptoms before, but there was Xu Qing present. I can personally search for spiritual materials to refine and relieve her, but now until Xu Qing was gone, Lin Wankai boiled the so-called medicine for treating internal injuries for her. In her words, this was an explanation left by Xu Qing before. It was only then that this so-called needle-like shape emerged. Now Qin Sisi is able to distinguish between truth and falsehood in Xu Qingyu's words. Following the man in front of her, she could still see the shattered spiritual tools on the ground. This is a special communication tool in this world, no different from previous eavesdropping devices, and even more effective. Without Xu Qingyu's explanation, Qin Sisi was very clear in her heart. My good junior sister, Lin Xuanhuan, has been bribed by the elder, not only to prevent her from competing for the position of sect leader, but also to take her life. But Qin Sisi was a little hard to accept the result for a while. She didn't understand why the good sisters of the past should treat themselves in this way now. Looking at Qin Sisi's disappointed expression, Xu Chengyu spoke up. From the beginning, she didn't regard you as a sister's, but you always felt that way. Why? Qin Sisi slowly raised her head and her gaze fell on Xu Chengyu. You can still vaguely see the moist and reddish eyes. When you were away, Lin Xuanhuan was the most talented young generation in the sect and was also trained as the future sect leader. Until you appear. Her behavior towards you was just for show to Xu Qing. At this point, Xu Chengyu did not continue speaking. The meaning of the words was already very clear, and he believed that Qin Sisi was not the kind of brainless woman. After giving her a moment to ease her emotions, Xu Chengyu slowly walked over to her and took out the 7th grade Dao Yuan Dan. I ate it. Qin Sisi took a deep breath before turning her gaze to the pill. Just one glance, the pupils suddenly contract. 5 grain quality. Is this a 7th grade pill? In the entire Great Qin dynasty, only the 3rd grade elixir could circulate on the surface, which was only possessed by a few large families. The 4th grade pill, even if it is thoroughly searched throughout the entire royal family, cannot be found. As for these 7 grade pills, they are enough to cause a sensation in the entire Qingyu region, let alone the Dao Yuan pill with 5 grain quality. Without 8th or even 9th grade strength, it is impossible to refine. Is this for me? Qin Sisi asked cautiously. She naturally knew very well what this pill represented. My damaged 7 orifices and delicate heart, as well as the internal injury that has been bothering me for so long, have finally been resolved. Otherwise, you don't want it. Xu Chengyu said. I want it. I want to. Qin Sisi immediately spoke up. The only chance to recover now lies in front of her, and even fools know how to choose. In a world of the jungle, without sufficient strength, not to mention revenge, even if one wants to survive, it is extremely difficult. Taking the Dao Yuan Dan from Xu Chengyu's hand, Qin Sisi didn't hesitate and swallowed it directly. As soon as the pill enters, it turns into a warm current flowing into the dantian. The feeling of being crispy and numb made Qin Sisi couldn't help but speak out coquettishly. This was the feeling of the meridians being reshaped, not as painful as she had imagined. The soft voice made Xu Chengyu feel a little uneasy for a moment. Isn't it just a pill? What are you whimpering about? Qin Sisi, who had come to his senses, blushed slightly. Although he didn't know what Qingyun meant, Qin Sisi could already imagine what it meant from Xu Chengyu's teasing expression. Half an hour later. Qin Sisi slowly opened her eyes, and she could feel a majestic spiritual power surging inside her body. The spiritual power is released, and a virtual shadow of a rainbow lotus condenses behind. She regained her physical fitness and instantly elevated her cultivation from the 3rd level of Xuanhuan to the 1st level of Harmony Realm, which made her very excited. This is just the beginning, and your cultivation will continue to recover afterwards. Thinking of this, Qin Cici blinked her beautiful eyes, her gaze unable to resist falling on Xu Chengyu again. I feel a bit more curious about the man in front of me. At the same time, I was also touched. After all, this is a 7th grade and 5-grain pill, so I gave it to myself. Doesn't he feel a bit regretful? Since it's okay, I'll leave first. Seeing Xu Chengyu's subconscious desire to leave, Qin Cici instinctively spoke up. Where are you going? What do you think? Of course I went back. The sect assembly will only start tomorrow. Is it difficult? Do you want to have a baby for me now? Xu Chengyu jokingly said. With these words, Qin Cici's little face instantly turned red, and her fair hands couldn't help but rub, looking as if there was nowhere to place them. Without daring to look directly at Xu Chengyu, he stuttered and said. Anyway, I will also be your person in the future. You. If you're willing. It's not impossible either. Xu Chengyu. Chapter 4. Sect Assembly and Rebellion. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next day. In the main hall of Qingyun sect. Elder, it's almost time now. Qin Cici, this little girl, hasn't arrived yet, so obviously she hasn't taken us elders seriously. I think it's better to start the conference directly. In the team, an elder spoke up. Yeah. Even if Qin Cici was appointed by the sect leader, what would happen? How can we teach other disciples in the future when Qingyun's sect makes someone who doesn't even respect their elders the sect leader? I don't even know what's causing so much trouble. Since the sect leader is no longer here, in my opinion, just let the strongest elder take over. What if a little girl has great talent? Does she have that strength? The elders spoke word by word without feeling anything inappropriate. On the contrary, the eldest elder Wang Bugong at the forefront had a calm expression, but upon closer inspection, one could still see the disdain in his eyes. Alright, everyone, please be quiet first. As soon as these words were spoken, the elders in the entire hall instantly fell silent, and everyone's gaze fell on him. It's as if he already has the power of a suzerain at this moment. This made Wang Bugong very satisfied in his heart. What is needed is this kind of effect. Alright, everyone, listen to me. Since it's the former sect leader's explanation, let's wait a little longer. Just start the election as soon as the time is up. There's no need to waste everyone's time. Wang Bugong said calmly. Upon hearing the 3 words of the former patriarch, the second elder Lin Qiong and the third elder Lin Qiu couldn't help but frown. Wang's ambition is naturally very clear in their hearts. For the position of the patriarch, I have been thinking about it for more than a day or two. The 2 brothers joined the Qingyun sect back then because Xu Qing had saved their lives. Now that Xu Qing is gone, they naturally choose unconditional support for the candidate Qin Cici. I think it's normal for other elders to have objections. However, when the sect leader was still alive, he repeatedly said that if Qingyun's sect wants to develop, it needs to look not at the present, but at the long-term. With the talent and strength of Cici, it doesn't take too long to become the strongest combat force of Qingyun sect. Even if the waves behind the Yangtze River push the waves before, there is a great possibility that it can take Qingyun's sect to a higher level. Why rush for a moment? Lin Qiong said expressionlessly. Just looking at Wang's unjust gaze, there was a hint of depth. The nearby forest hills also agreed. Besides, what the sect wants now is the Dao Palace realm, isn't it? Even if the elder's strength is strong, what's the use of it? Isn't it just a fusion realm? Can we solve the current urgent situation? Just. Let me see, what the third elder said is right. I think the sect should cultivate its thinking well, and it's only a matter of time before it surpasses the sect leader in the future. Among the elder team, there are also many who choose to support Lin Qiong and Lin Xiu. Yeah. What the second elder and the third elder said is not wrong. The sect should consider for the future, but we also need to take a look at the present, right? The news of the leader's death has probably spread to the ears of the other three major families. With the current situation in this deserted city, how much time can Qingyun sect wait? Dao Gong Jing. Who isn't it? As soon as these words were spoken, the pressure of the palace realm enveloped everyone. Lin Qiong and Lin Kaitan's face changed as he spoke. I had already guessed that if Wang Bugong dared to argue at this time, it was highly likely that he had hidden his strength. But I didn't expect it to be hidden so deep. Surprisingly, it has already broken through to the Dao Palace realm. It seems that it has been planned for a long time, but it was only Su Qing's accident that gave him this opportunity. It is said that the palace realm is a barrier in the realm of cultivation. Without enough talent, this life will come to an end. Lin Qiong and the others had a gloomy expression on their faces, and they hadn't waited to continue speaking. A soft voice rang in everyone's ears. I'm really sorry for keeping the elders waiting for so long. All the elders followed the sound and saw Qin Sisi appearing in front of everyone. There was a hint of doubt in Wang Bugong's eyes. He could clearly feel that compared to before, the stagnant energy on Qin Sisi had disappeared. Is it something good left for Su Qing before her death that helped her recover from her internal injuries? The thought of Wang's unjust gaze grew even colder. I couldn't help but murmur in my heart. Su Qing, this despicable person, even if he dies, he doesn't want to give up the position of this sect leader to me. Do you think I'm not as good as a little girl? Although he thought so in his heart, Wang Bugong's face remained calm. He moved his gaze away from Qin Sisi and then said calmly. Since everyone has arrived, there is no need to continue wasting time. The General Assembly for the election of the Patriarch will start directly, right? Qin Sisi didn't speak, just stood by silently watching. In the current situation, what she said was no longer important. She just wanted to see how much of the Qingyun sect was bought by Wang Bugong. Taking a deep breath, the unfamiliar and familiar figure appeared in my mind, and I couldn't help but feel a sense of security in my heart. Then we'll still follow the old rules. Using Lingyu as evidence. Red represents the elder, and black represents the disciple Qin Sisi who passed down his lineage. An elder spoke up. At this moment, the team has been neatly divided into a matrix in the main hall. Led by 3 elders. The called Lingyu. This is a special spiritual tool in the world of cultivation, which can set various colors of spiritual power and has no other functions. Later, it was used as an electoral tool by many forces. Those who support the elder can start now. The words fell. Among the crowd, more than half of the elders directly picked up the spiritual jade in their hands. You can still see that bright red color. As time goes by, the number of supporters of Wang injustice is increasing. Wang Hu. Su Pao. Do you deserve the patriarch? Looking at many elders he had won over, Lin Qiong and his 2 brothers chose to stand in Wang Bugong's camp. Their faces looked a bit ugly. This is still the object they have already greeted in advance. As for those seemingly neutral elders, there is no need to think about what kind of outcome they may have. Soon it was Qin Sisi's turn, and only a few elders, including Lin Qiong and Lin Qiu, raised the spirit jade in pairs. At this point, they can't say anything more. After all, people are attracted by Wang Bugong, even those around them. Even if Qin Sisi really becomes the leader of this sect, the future will not be easy. Since everyone has no objections. Then I announced the outcome of this conference. Wang Bugong stood in front of the team, with a hint of smile in his eyes. I haven't waited for the elder to finish speaking yet. Qin Sisi's voice rang out again. Wait. As soon as these words were spoken, not only the Lin Qiong brothers, but also Wang Bugong was stunned and immediately turned his gaze to the graceful figure. Qin Sisi slowly took out a dark spiritual ring from her body. It is the one on Xu Qing's body. According to the rules of Qingyun sect before, if one wants to become the leader of this sect, they must have the existence of this spiritual ring. This is passed down from every previous sect leader. Unless the spiritual ring disappears, this represents the meaning of the previous sect leader. Xu Qing had just had an accident before, and Wang Bugong had already sent someone to search for him. He searched the entire sect but couldn't find anything. I thought I had disappeared with Xu Qing, but unexpectedly it appeared on Qin Sisi's body. Haha. Before everyone could react, Wang Bugong's laughter had already echoed in everyone's ears. Lin Qiong frowned and looked at him, saying coldly, "Wang Bugong, can this spiritual ring already represent the meaning of the sect leader? What do you mean by this? What does it mean?" Wang Bugong snorted coldly and then spoke coldly. "I was originally thinking of giving you a step down. Since I can't take it seriously, I can only send you to meet Xu Qing. I'll leave it here. Today, no one can sit on the position of the sect leader except me. You can give it a try." Chapter 5. Dao Gong Jing. One shot. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lin Qiong didn't expect Wang Bugong to pretend and start tearing his face. "Wang Bugong, are you trying to disobey?" Before the words could be finished, the whole person flew backwards. Heavy blows hit the walls of the main hall behind me. Then he fell to the ground and couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood. Laugh to death. When did Qingyun sect have your turn as a small character to guide me? In the future, my rules here will be rules. Wang Bugong's expression was cold and stern, with a hint of disdain in his gaze towards Qin Sisi. Just rely on you. Do you also deserve me to compete for the position of sect leader? As he spoke, his spiritual power suddenly erupted and he slapped Qin Sisi with a palm. Let's go quickly. Lin Qiong's figure flickered, wanting to block Qin Sisi's palm. But the difference in realm from Wang Bugong is really too great. It's completely impossible to catch up. Qin Sisi knew that neither of these elder brothers was afraid of death, and the reason why he was still maintaining his position was because Xu Qing had saved their names back then. Now that she was preparing to sacrifice herself, it moved her heart a bit. Seeing this, Wang Bugong's palm was about to fall on Qin Sisi's body. In the main hall, a deep voice sounded. "Old miscellaneous hair. My people dare to move too." A gun shadow flew out and stopped Qin Sisi horizontally. Immediately after, a figure appeared in front of everyone. Originally, Wang Bugong was still worried that Xu Qing might leave some behind. When I saw clearly the person approaching, I couldn't help but laugh. In turn disciple, Xu Chengyu. Do you want to die? There were also many elders around who recognized Xu Chengyu at this time. After all, even if my predecessor secretly watched my junior sister take a shower, I was still a habitual offender and it was difficult not to be recognized. For other people's opinions, Xu Chengyu didn't care at all, just looked at Wang Bugong and said calmly. "Just you old miscellaneous hair, at an old age, still learning from others to compete for the position of sect leader. Do you have that strength? The Dao Gong, who is nearly 100 years old, is not a waste. What is it? I don't know, but I thought you were an invincible Taoist priest who relied on your life to endure. You were invincible throughout the entire Qin dynasty." As soon as these words were spoken, all the elders were stunned. I don't understand if this inner disciple is foolish and dares to provoke the Grand Elder Wang injustice in the Dao Palace realm. Isn't this the old birthday star hanging himself, thinking his life is too long? Wang Bugong's face completely darkened. He, who was proud, could not bear to be humiliated like this. Moreover, the other party is only a small inner disciple. Spiritual power kept surging, but in an instant, the aura of the Dao Palace suddenly erupted. The dark spiritual power attached to the surface of the palm and slammed toward Xu Chengyu's position. Everyone else is well aware that Wang Bugong is really angry, otherwise he wouldn't have come up and used a big trick on a younger generation. 9 In Xianming Palm, this is a lower-level martial art of the earth level. In less than 30 years, he had already been trained by Wang Bugong to the realm of Xiaocheng. It can be said that besides Su Qing, Wang Bugong is the strongest existence in Qingyun sect. Upon seeing this, Xu Chengyu did not hesitate. He reached out and waved the spirit spear, which suddenly appeared in his hand. The cold light flickered and looked particularly oppressive. Although it only took 1 day to elevate the ancient spirit 9-turn spear technique to perfection. But this is still Xu Chengyu's first time using it. Dragon walking steps follow the shadow. A shot accompanied by terrifying spiritual power pierced through. Instantly, the 9 In Xianming palm shattered. Wang Bugong's face suddenly changed. He didn't expect that Xu Chengyu's cultivation level was also in the Dao Palace realm. I never expected such a casual shot. He felt an unprecedented pressure of death. There is a constant flicker of spiritual light on my body. Click. A series of spiritual masks are constantly being implemented. Under the gaze of everyone, the shadow of the gun was like a silver dragon, instantly shattering the flesh of Wang Injustice. No. Before he could finish speaking, he turned into a puddle of flesh and blood. Seeing this scene, everyone was dumbfounded. Unexpectedly, Xu Chengyu only used 1 shot to kill Wang Bugong in the Dao Gong realm. Is this still the inner disciple they know who peeked at my junior sister's bath? What about the agreed territory of Diyuan? Why did you turn around and brutally kill Dao Gong Jing? I'm not feeling dizzy, am I? The elder was actually taken seconds. What kind of skill is this? How could it have such terrifying attacking power? Just a glance from afar, I can already feel the fear of death. It's over, legs. All 3 legs are a bit soft. Behind Xu Chengyu, Qin Sisi also had a shocked expression on his face at this moment. He could guess that Xu Chengyu was very strong, after all, a man who could easily take out the Dao Yuan Dan. I didn't expect it to be so strong. Even if it's just a first-level cultivation in the Dao Palace, she can confirm that even if it's a 6th-level cultivation in the Dao Palace, it may not be possible to take that shot. Crossing such a great level of strength. It's simply terrifying. Qin Sisi felt a little relieved at the moment, and her luck didn't seem to be that bad either. Lin Qiu beside him was even more frightened and couldn't speak. He swallowed his saliva before speaking. What should I do now? Upon hearing these words, Qin Sisi's gaze instinctively turned to Xu Chengyu, indicating that he had to make a decision. The elders who had looked down upon Qin Sisi before, now have no pride in the past. Without even thinking, they knelt down in front of the 2 of them. Sisi. No. Your Highness, we were previously confused by Wang Bugong, who is an immortal. That's right. Actually in our hearts, we have always believed that you are the most suitable candidate for the sect leader. I will do my best to assist the sect leader in the future, and I will spare no effort to sacrifice my life and blood. Yes, my lord. We are all considering the future of our sect and would like to help you obtain more information as an undercover agent. Looking at the hypocritical appearance of these people, Xu Chengyu didn't even think about it. He just reached out and fired a shot. The spirit-breaking spear in hand was released. Thousands of gun shadows constantly emerge. In the blink of an eye, there were cries of sorrow in the main hall, and then it completely fell silent. Just dozens of extra flesh and blood. Feeling the strong smell of blood in the air, Lin Qiu's body couldn't stop trembling. Unexpectedly, Xu Chengyu made such a decisive move. Not giving these people a chance at all. Chengyu, killing so many elders. Will this have any impact on the sect? Even Qin Sisi, who had seen many great things in the world, couldn't help but feel some palpitations. But she was well aware that Xu Chengyu was doing the right thing. If Qingyun sect wants to truly develop, it must undergo a blood transfusion. Xu Chengyu said with a nonchalant expression, "It's all garbage, it's all the same whether it's there or not. From now on, you and Elder Lin Qiong will be temporarily responsible for the affairs of Qingyun sect in Linqiu. If you have anything, just come to me." With a wave of his hand, 2 pills appeared in front of Lin Qiu. When he reached out to take it, he just glanced at it, his gaze suddenly shrank, and he said in shock. Is this a 5th grade, 3-grain, extremely elemental pill? Zong. Is this for our brothers too? What does Jiyu Dan represent? Especially with perfect quality with 3 stripes. Even a waste without any talent can increase the upper limit to the Dao Palace realm after taking it. Lin Qiu and Lin Qiong have been stuck in the complex for many years. They know their talents, and without opportunities in this life, they may never be able to enter the realm of the Dao Palace. But with the quality of the extreme Yuan pill in front of us, it doesn't take much time to break through the Dao Palace, even in the future, even in the realm of divine condensation. Lin Qiu was so excited that he couldn't speak as he held the pill in his hand. He doesn't care about the talent of the elders in the sect. As long as he is there, it's enough. However, in order to better complete side quests and earn points, the development of this force is still necessary. He values the qualities of Lin Qiu and his companions. No matter how big the situation is, it is just a floating cloud in the face of life and death. He never expected that at that moment, the 2 brothers would sacrifice their lives to protect Qin Sisi. This is what they deserve. The sect will not mistreat you. Lin Qiu took a deep breath, and his emotions had already eased for the most part. Qin Sisi on the side did not hesitate, took out a pill from her pocket, and directly put it into Lin Qiong's mouth. In a moment, Lin Qiong coughed up a mouthful of fresh blood, and only then did she have a little more blood on her face. Thank you very much. Lin Qiu's eyes were filled with gratitude. He knew that the reason Xu Chengyu was so kind to the 2 brothers was entirely due to Qin Sisi's face. That's a 5th grade 3-grain pill. It's okay, Elder Lin Qiu. If it weren't for me, Elder Lin Qiong wouldn't have been injured. Qin Sisi whispered, with a hint of self-blame in her beautiful eyes. This is what we should do. We 2 old men, this life was originally given by Master Su. After wiping off the bloodstains on his face, a smile also appeared on Lin Qiu's face. Then he turned around and looked at Xu Chengyu, respectfully saying, "If there's nothing wrong with Zong, then we'll leave first." Xu Chengyu nodded and soon the 2 disappeared from sight. Thank you. Thank you. After a moment of silence, Qin Sisi spoke up. Thank you not just for words. Give me more children, that's sincerity. What do you think? Xu Chengyu raised the corner of his mouth, with a hint of smile in his eyes. As soon as these words were spoken, Qin Sisi's small face turned red with a blush. The impression Xu Chengyu left on her earlier was too deep. That decisive killing, even standing behind him, is full of a sense of security. Isn't it said that changing faces is a woman's little trick? How can a man be like this? But she naturally knew that Xu Chengyu was deliberately teasing her. Immediately, he looked straight at Xu Chengyu and said softly. The young woman naturally listens to her husband's advice. At present, there are only you and me left in the main hall. Your husband is so powerful that I believe I cannot resist. Looking at Qin Sisi's shy and charming expression, Xu Chengyu couldn't help but murmur. Fairy. Chapter 6. Big Marriage. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 10 days later. Within the Qingyun sect. The red silk flutters, how lively it is. Give me some agility, should I be clear about what day it is today? On the auspicious day of the sect leader, if I were to discover who caused trouble. I've been thinking about it for 10 years directly facing the cliff, have you heard me? After the meeting is over, each person can receive 50 spirit stones. In the crowd, an elder from the inner gate spoke with a serious expression on his face. As soon as these words were spoken, all the disciples who were originally lacking in enthusiasm suddenly came to their senses. 50 spirit stones are already equivalent to their salary of 2 months. It's simply not too fragrant. After the elder left, many disciples gathered together and whispered about the recent events happening within the sect. Is that rumor true or false? How do I know? Anyway, when senior brother Xu becomes the sect leader, I feel quite good about it. At least it's much better than the grand elder. But it's been a bit strange lately. Why haven't you seen the elder for a long time? I shouldn't know. Before he could finish speaking, an old voice sounded behind him. What a big courage. Is the matter of the sect something that you disciples can discuss? The speaker is an elder with a white beard. At this moment, his face was cold and he stared at the disciples gathered in front of him. Tomorrow I will report to the cliff myself. 6 months per person. Upon hearing these words, the disciples were all nervous and dared not speak. I am very familiar with the temperament of the elder in front of me, not to mention having objections, but if anyone dares to say one more thing. Maybe we will say goodbye to the sect tomorrow. Helpless, I could only silently bow my head and leave. Old Bai, is it necessary to be so serious? After the disciples left, a middle-aged man beside the white-beard elder spoke up. You don't understand. A simple 3 words brought his thoughts back to that day's sect assembly. Xu Chengyu used only 1 shot alone, almost killing all the elders of the inner sect of Qingyun sect. If it weren't for the kindness he owed Lin Qiong back then. I'm afraid I won't be able to stand here completely today. Wang Bugong, who was as strong as the Dao Palace, could not withstand a single move in front of that young man. The key is how old are young people. He has lived for nearly 100 years with such talent, and has never heard of it in the great Xia dynasty. He is not clear about other things and dare not learn too much. Thinking of this, I could only sigh helplessly. They don't understand, don't you understand either? I'm trying to save them. On that day, the sect assembly. The words didn't finish, but the middle-aged man seemed to have thought of something and his pupils suddenly shrank. Obviously, something terrifying has come to mind. Simply complete the process. Xu Chengyu drank a lot of alcohol with Lin Qiong and Lin Qiu because he was in a good mood. Lin Qiong's injury has healed quite a bit. The first reaction upon waking up was that Wang Bugong had risen to power, which made him somewhat regretful. He wondered why his strength was not strong enough. Until later, Lin Qiu explained to him about Xu Chengyu's strong suppression of the Grand Elder that day. The whole person was stunned and stunned. Unexpectedly, Xu Qing still kept a big killing weapon. After 3 rounds of drinking, Xu Chengyu also slowly left the main hall, and he was very clear about what day it was today. How can one make their daughter-in-law wait too long? Push open the palace room. Qin Cixi's stunning appearance suddenly appeared before his eyes. Husband. Husband. Before Xu Chengyu could speak, Qin Cixi blushed and clearly felt a little embarrassed. On her fair and slender little hands, she was still carrying a pot of spirit wine. She knew it was still early, and the reason Xu Chengyu appeared so early was clearly because he cared more about himself. This moved her heart a bit. Especially when it comes to the things Xu Chengyu has done for her. Qin Cixi was very clear that with Xu Chengyu's ability, not to mention a small Qin dynasty, even the top forces in the entire Qin domain were eager to take it. Staying in this Qingyun sect was completely condescending. Husband. Let me have a drink with you. Watching Qin Cixi come to his side, Xu Chengyu didn't refuse either. The 2 of them slowly sat by the bed. Today's Qin Sisi is even more impressive than before, with her red outfit paired with her cold and handsome face. She is completely the ultimate pure goddess of her past life. The two of them raised their glasses and drank, and the corner of Qin Sisi's eye fell on this future husband. Have you seen enough? The sudden sound startled Qin Sisi. Turning his head, he found Xu Chengyu with a smile on his lips, staring straight at him. My little face turned red with a splash. Do I think my own husband is not allowed? At this moment, Xu Chengyu seemed to have discovered a new continent, and he didn't expect Qin Sisi to have such a cute and playful side. There is an absolute contrast between her aloof and proud demeanor. It's hard not to love. Of course it's possible. It's just that the lady has also drunk this wine, and it's getting late. Shouldn't we also get down to business now? Xu Chengyu's words were clear to Qin Sisi. It's about giving birth to this man. Blinking her beautiful eyes, she still felt a bit nervous in her heart. Will it hurt? Don't worry, with your husband here. So. What am I doing? Lie down, I'll do it. Half an hour later. How about your husband not lying to you, right? Don't talk, be serious. Under the guidance of Xu Chengyu day and night, Qin Sisi quickly became pregnant. In the blink of an eye, it will be a year later. Inside the main hall. Grandmaster, congratulations. Yeah, my lord will definitely have a successful son this time. Lin Qiong and her companions spoke from left to right. After spending a year together, Xu Chengyu has a good impression of the two of them. Compared to Wang Begong, he is obviously more capable of doing things. Having their own extreme elemental pill at the beginning, they were able to break through the bottleneck and were only one step away from the Dao Palace realm. Both of them are not foolish, they know who the Thai is. Both men and women are the same. I don't understand what your virtues are, do you too? Tell me, what's going on? Upon hearing Xu Chengyu's words, Lin Qiong smiled and took the initiative to pour a glass of spirit wine. Indeed, it's the Lord who understands us. Master, now the other three people in this deserted city are intentionally targeting our Qingyun sect. The trading houses opened by our Qingyun sect in the deserted city were all sabotaged by someone. Although they didn't catch anyone, it was obvious that they were done by the people from the three major families' side. When Master Su Qing was still here, our Qingyun sect held the largest share in the deserted city. Now they feel that our Qingyun sect has no leader in this situation and wants to take action against us. The three major families in the desolate city mentioned by Lin Qiong are the Lin family, Wang family, and Hua family. When Qingyun sect had not yet arrived, the three-legged tripod stood still, and it was not until Su Qing took action that this situation was broken. The previous Qingyun sect had slightly stronger high-end combat power and comprehensive strength than the big three. But I haven't taken any action to unify the deserted city, I'm just worried about the dog jumping over the wall. If the three of them work together, even if Qingyun sect has an advantage, it may still fail. Now the news of Su Qing's death is almost known to the entire aristocratic family in the deserted city. People with discerning eyes are well aware that the three of us are now ready to join forces and eat the big cake of Qingyun sect together. Xu Chengyu was also very clear in his heart that he had no interest in this small force originally. After all, his first small goal was to capture the entire Xia dynasty. But by eliminating these three little shrimp, we can still earn him a lot of points, so that's just a side effect. Xu Chengyu discovered that although he now has a dual physical fitness bonus, his cultivation has not improved as easily as he imagined. It took him only a year to cultivate to the third level of the Dao Palace. If it were other geniuses, they might have already prepared to burn incense, but for Xu Chengyu, it was too slow. According to Tongzi's introduction, the stronger the physique, the more spiritual power is required. Simply put, it requires precipitation. Only in this way can we better abuse others beyond our control. So the rewards for points and main tasks are particularly important. Master, 10 days from now will be the time when our 4 families used to allocate resources within the city. They may take action against us at that time. Lin Qiong spoke up. 10 days later. Do they want to die so much? Xu Chengyu's cold tone echoed in the main hall, and the Lin Qiong brothers beside him couldn't help but tremble. They know Xu Chengyu's strength, but they don't know how strong he really is. 3 people. It's just a small jam. Before the 2 of them could speak, a female elder rushed in anxiously outside the hall. Zong. Zong Zhu. Madam is going to give birth. Chapter 7. Xu Pingyun, Terrifying Vision. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As soon as this sentence is spoken, Xu Chengyu was delighted in his heart. Is his first mainline reward coming soon? Without even thinking, he walked straight towards the outside of the hall. In less than a moment, I quickly arrived outside the palace room. Patriarch. Patriarch. Xu Chengyu nodded and slowly pushed open the door. At first glance, it was Qin Cici's somewhat pale face, and the fluctuating breath on her body was clearly somewhat disordered, which made Xu Chengyu feel a little heartbroken. Is it true that not only ordinary people, but also cultivators who give birth will be affected? Husband. Seeing Xu Chengyu appear, Qin Cici quickly sat up from the bed. I'm here. Xu Chengyu gently rubbed her head. Thank you for your hard work. Don't you go take a look. Although Qin Cici's body was a bit uncomfortable, there was still a smile on her face. She never thought she would get married in her entire life, until the man beside her appeared. Let her understand that there is happiness in being loved. As long as you're okay. Before Xu Chengyu could continue speaking, the mechanical reminder in his mind rang out again. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully giving birth to offspring. Detecting. Quickly, a transparent character information panel appeared before my eyes. Qingyun. 8th class, qualification. Demon, the Holy Spirit body of ancient Buddha. One of the heavenly mandate Buddha body, which increases one's understanding of Buddhism and Taoism by 1000%. Legend has it that lucky bags are being distributed in the back end. Please collect them as soon as possible. Qin Cici looked to the side, and the chubby little boy on the little spiritual bed was looking at her with tearful big eyes. Slowly get up and carefully hold it by your side. Husband. I really look like you. Qin Cici said softly. At this moment, he came to the side of the mother and son. At a glance, I saw that chubby and white kid. The Holy Spirit body of ancient Buddha. This level of Holy Communion is already a very terrifying existence, but in Xu Chengyu's impression, Buddhism and Taoism seem to be breaking away from the secular world. I don't know if this kid can handle this kind of life. Husband. Can you give me a name? Qin Cici teased the little guy while speaking up. After thinking for a moment, Xu Chengyu slowly said, just call him Xu Pingyun. No matter what kind of life he wants to lead in the future. I just hope he can be safe and sound. A chick also has a day when its wings are full, no matter how strong it is, the world still needs to be explored by itself in the end. Xu Pingyun. Pingyun, the name your father gave you sounds really nice. My mother also hopes that you can always be safe and sound. Xu Pingyun seemed quite energetic, watching the 2 of them keep laughing. Quick husband. He wants you to hold him. Xu Chengyu quickly embraced him, feeling light and unreal. He has been a father for the first time in 2 generations. Not waiting for him to speak, the next moment. A golden light appeared on Xu Pingyun's body, and there were also words of nothingness circulating in his eyes. The golden light continued to condense, and in less than a blink of an eye, the golden spirit gathered above the Qingyun sect and sat in a huge golden ancient Buddha. There is also a golden dragon circulating in the shadow around me. Seeing this scene, the entire Qingyun sect was shocked and speechless. Is this a vision of ancient Buddha? Is it possible that this young master is the reincarnation of a certain Buddhist sect's great power? What kind of terrifying physique is this young master, the golden dragon hovering among them? It seems that my Qingyun sect is really going to rise this time. Heaven bless the green clouds. Abyss. Xu Chengyu was also somewhat shocked. It seemed that his son's physique, even within the Holy Communion, was extremely domineering. Otherwise, it is impossible for such a level of anomaly to occur. Golden Buddha crouching dragon, this is the Buddhist avenue. Qin Sisi was also stunned and speechless, her beautiful eyes fixed on the little one. Then he spoke up. Husband. Do you think this is a good thing? Xu Chengyu naturally understood the meaning behind Qin Sisi's words. If this physique is born in a big family, then reaching the pinnacle is only a matter of time. For a remote place like the great Qin dynasty, then I'm here. Safe, can always be safe. During the following time, Qin Sisi stayed with the little guy. Without hesitation, Xu Chengyu sat aside and prepared to start offering rewards. At present, he must seize the crucial moment to improve his strength. Not only to expand our influence, but also for the people around us. Adong, open your lucky bag. Ding. Legend has it that the lucky bag is opening. Please wait. Lingpin Advanced Technique. Mingyue Shadow Technique, 800,000 Air Transportation Points, 6th Order Spirit Gathering Array *3, Junior Divine Condensation Summoning Card *6. Can summon levels 1.3, Basic Cultivation Pavilion. Contains 99 volumes of Earthly Cultivation Techniques and 10 volumes of Heavenly Cultivation Techniques, Skill Enhancement Card *2, 6th Grade Lingua *66. Qingling Peach, looking at the rewards in this lucky bag, Xu Chengyu was still very excited in his heart, although there were no particularly exaggerated rewards. But for myself now, it can also be considered a huge improvement. The Mingyue Shadow Technique, which is a high-level spiritual skill, is very suitable for Qin Sisi who uses swords. Divine character summoning cards and basic skills can increase the power of the sect and allow for continued free prostitution of the sect. As for the skill enhancement card, Xu Chengyu still doesn't understand what it means. But it doesn't affect his direct use. Ding. Spirit Product Upper Level. Ancient Spirit 9-Turn Spear Technique. Virtual Product Upper Level. Holy Spirit 5 Void Destruction, did I wipe it? Did I directly elevate it by a large level? Xu Chengyu exclaimed excitedly in his heart. In addition to improving martial arts skills, even a portion of the original realm has been preserved, starting from perfection and starting from childhood. This has already made him very satisfied. For the other one, I didn't hesitate to use it directly. Ding. Spirit Product Upper Level. Dragon Walking Step. Empty Product Upper Level. 3,000 Dragon Walking Steps, as for the effect of restoring and enhancing spiritual power with Spirit Peaches. Xu Chengyu directly placed half of it in front of Qin Sisi. This is 4th Grade Spirit Peach. Qin Sisi was somewhat surprised. She didn't expect Xu Chengyu to get so much. She had only seen the entire Qin dynasty once when she was a child. It was the Qin king who risked his life to find it in the secret realm. 6th Grade Qingling Peach. Xu Chengyu smiled and said. As soon as these words were spoken, Qin Sisi was stunned. But on second thought, she soon felt relieved that her husband was too mysterious. Not to mention the 6th Grade Qingling Peach, even the 7th and 5th Grade Dao Yuan Dan can be obtained. What else is not possible? Husband. You are so kind to me. How about having another one? I've seen it, it's a nice day today. Xu Chengyu said mischievously. Hate. Qingyun is still here. Chapter 8. Three-Family Conspiracy, Hongmen Banquet. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. A deserted city. Linyang Pavilion. At the secret meeting of the three major family leaders. Are you really ready to take action against Qingyun sect this time? Do we need to prepare well? After all, this is not a small matter, Lin Tian said. Seeing that the king's sword in the middle position did not open its mouth, the nearby Fire Valley also agreed. Yeah, although Xu Chengyu is no longer here, this woman has many tricks. Everyone has already suffered a lot of losses before. Even this time, we must be more cautious. As soon as these words were spoken, Wang Jian's eyebrows finally couldn't help but furrow. He doesn't really like these two guys from the bottom of his heart. When Xu Chengyu was still here, he was able to outdo the three of them with his cultivation advantage. He can understand. But now that everyone is dead, are you still so afraid? What's going on? Is this casting a psychological shadow? Besides, this is still a situation where the three of us are preparing to work together. If we say this, wouldn't we laugh to death for outsiders? Only these two families were able to compete with their Wang family before. Thinking of this, Wang Jian said angrily. What are you afraid of? Xu Chengyu, that despicable person, has already died. Now that Qingyun sect is leaderless, even if there is still a Taoist palace within the sect, wouldn't it be easy for the three of us to join forces? This upon hearing these words, their faces couldn't help but turn red. Indeed, it was Xu Chengyu who cast a psychological shadow on them before. But what if this Qingyun sect has any other successors? Backhand. Wang Jian raised the corner of his mouth and his eyes were filled with disdain. Do you know that Xu Chengyu died unexpectedly at this critical moment, despite being fine? As soon as this sentence is spoken, the two seem to have thought of something, and their eyes fell on Wang Jian's body in tacit agreement. They only know what powerful force Xu Chengyu has offended. Or what kind of person is it? How to say it? Looking at the hopeful eyes of the two, Wang Jian didn't hesitate and spoke directly. That's because this woman doesn't have long eyes and has offended people who shouldn't have offended. Yi Wuhui, the ninth elder of the Yi family, knows. The name Yi Wuhui is still very clear to both of them. One of the elders of the Yi family, although only ranked ninth in terms of seniority, his strength can rank in the top 5 of the sect. At the same time, he is also the youngest elder of the Yi family's inner sect, who had already entered the 9th level of the Dao Gong at the age of less than 70. Moreover, it has condensed the embryonic form of the sword intent. Even among his peers in the Great Qin dynasty, he is still a top-ranked figure, and there is a high probability that he can break through to the divine realm in the future. Can it be that Xu Chengyu offended him? Huigu exclaimed in surprise, with a hint of excitement in his eyes. If it's really like what Wang Jian said, then Qingyun sect really has nothing to be afraid of. After all, with the indirect support of the Yi family, even if Xu Chengyu had the means, he would not have caused any trouble, otherwise he wouldn't have ended up in such a situation. But why? According to Xu Chengyu's cautious personality, it shouldn't be. Lin Jian still had some doubts and continued to ask. There's nothing wrong with it. A month ago, everyone knew about the sudden appearance of the cave in the north, right? In order to find the spiritual medicine, Xu Chengyu offended Yi Kun, the son of Yi Wuhui, and even took away his Ling Hongji. So, can you both rest assured now? Wang Jian said lightly. Seeing Wang Jian's indifferent appearance, the two people on the side exchanged a glance, with a hint of doubt in their hearts. In terms of strength and resources, the three major players in the deserted city are all similar. How could the Wang family not even hear any news of such important intelligence, as the Wang family knows so well? After pondering for a moment, Huigu couldn't help but speak up and say, "Old Wang, where did you get this news from?" Lin Tian beside him also carefully scrutinized Wang Jian, hoping to see something from his expression. Haha. I'm really sorry, both of you. I almost forgot about this good news. Not long ago, little Queen Jing and the young Master Yi Kun had already formed a romantic relationship, and they had originally planned to tell them after their big wedding. But now, the situation is special. You two shouldn't mind, right? The words have just finished. Their faces were full of astonishment, and there was a hint of shock in their eyes. No wonder Wang Jian knows so much that they don't know. Emotion is climbing the big tree of the Yi family. Although the strength of the Yi family has not yet reached the level of the 5 great masters, it is also an extremely strong presence, and there is more than one divine condensing realm powerhouse in the door. Well. Congratulations first. Congratulations. Both of them forced out a smile on their faces. They are all old foxes, able to stay in the wilderness for such a long time. Although their strength is average, their minds are very clear. The purpose of these 3 meetings today is not just to discuss how to win the Qingyun sect. Moreover, the Wang family wants to use the Yi family's connections to establish their authority. Wang Jian saw both of their expressions and was naturally very satisfied in his heart. Although she has no children under her knee, having a promising daughter seems like a great feeling. Especially for former rivals, now they can only bow their heads in front of themselves, and that feeling is even more indescribable in words. Others may not know the strength of the Yi family, but Wang Jian is very clear about it. Although the Yi family may not yet reach the level of these 5 major players in terms of comprehensive strength, it is because of the relationship with Yi Kun. Let Wang Jian know that the Yi family has always been working hard for the Zhuge family. Throughout the great Qin dynasty, the prestige of the Zhuge family was only lower than that of the royal family, even the Duofu+Sect was slightly inferior. With such lingering shade, as long as the Wang family can grab a glimpse, it is enough to lead the family to complete class transition. Alright, both of you, then I won't talk anymore. I would like to hear your opinions and thoughts on the resource allocation of Qingyun sect. Looking at the smile on the corner of Wang Jian's mouth. The two naturally felt helpless in their hearts, and to put it better, it was their opinions and thoughts. I just wanted the two of them to speak on their own. Go through the transitional form. Does the Wang family account for half? Huigu tentatively said, his attention still focused on Wang Jian's body. I saw Wang Jian without any reaction, just drinking tea on his own. 6 floors. 7 floors. Taking a deep breath, Lin Tian said with an unpleasant expression. Lao Wang, no matter what, should we both have some soup, right? Okay. As you said, I only account for 80%, and it doesn't mean that my old friend doesn't take care of you. Helpless, but with no other solution. This is the helplessness of this world of cultivation. If you have strength and background, then you are the most amazing. Otherwise, we can only obediently shut our mouths. Even if beaten, one can only stand at attention. When will we start? Lin Tian spoke up. What's the rush? Isn't the time for the 3-year distribution of benefits in the deserted city about to come? 10 days later. Let him come from Qingyun sect. Whoever comes will die. If you don't come, isn't this a perfect opportunity to take action? Wang Jian had a calm and composed appearance, as if everything was under his control, and he saw the two of them being attentive and indecisive. Continuing to speak. Don't worry, there won't be any problems. If Qingyun sect really has any means, do you think Elder Yi Wuhui will let them go? Chapter 9. Sect Terror Configuration. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After settling Qin Sisi and her son together, Xu Chengyu quickly returned to the cultivation room. The most important thing for him now is to improve his strength as soon as possible. Seeing that there were still over 1,000,000 points left in the back end, I didn't even think about it and started using it directly. Consume 50,000 points and increase cultivation to the 4th level of the Dao Palace. Consume 80,000 points and increase cultivation to the 5th level of the Dao Palace. Consume 15,000 points and increase cultivation to the 6th level of the Dao Palace. After consuming nearly 1 million points, Xu Chengyu raised his cultivation to the 8th level of the Dao Palace, and was only one step away from breaking through to the 9th level of the Dao Palace. With only the remaining points, Xu Chengyu originally intended to mention the 5 voids of the Holy Spirit and the 3,000 dragons, but found that breaking through to a great achievement requires nearly 2 million points. At first, he thought he was mistaken. After all, at the beginning, it was not so exaggerated, which improved a great quality. How could it consume so much? After learning about it later, I realized that the initial points consumed were low, which was due to the new employee benefits, which have now ended. So it became a normal point consumption, which almost made Xu Chengyu unable to resist cursing. Take out Qingling Peach and Jiuan Dan and prepare to maximize the first reward as much as possible. 1 hour later. In the cultivation room. A terrifying spiritual power flowed around Xu Chengyu. The small achievement of the 5 voids of the Holy Spirit allowed his spear intention to successfully break through to triple. Xu Chengyu had confidence in his heart that although he had not yet broken through the divine condensation realm, he was invincible below the 7th level of the divine condensation realm. This is absolute confidence. Taking a deep breath, he slowly stood up and was about to leave the cultivation room when he met Lin Qiong again. What's wrong? This time, Lin Qiong didn't hesitate and spoke directly. Master, the elders in the sect are currently understaffed. Do you think we should promote some external sect elders first? Alternatively, we can recruit some cultivators from the Harmony realm first. Poor person. Xu Chengyu was not surprised by this. After all, almost 70% of the elders were killed by him during the sect meeting that day. For today's Qingyun sect, the state of harmony is of no help at all. Thinking of the 6 unused divine condensing realm summoning cards in my system backend. Detected that the host has the idea of using mission summoning cards. Are you still using summoning, location optional? Optional entry method. So humanized. Seeing the special options in the transparent panel, Xu Chengyu was also somewhat surprised. Except for the summoned characters that cannot be selected, everything else can be customized according to one's own preferences. This is quite good. Use. The location was chosen in the cultivation room. Void Gate Summoning. Ding. Character summoning is underway. Congratulations to the host for successfully recruiting the 3rd level Wang Jun from the Dao Palace. Congratulations to the host for successfully recruiting the 1st level King of the Dao Palace. 6 basic divine condensation summoning cards, a total of 2 divine condensation realm 3rd level, and the other 4 are all divine condensation realm 1st level. No need. Xu Chengyu said lightly. The words have just finished. 6 figures in black robes appeared before the 3 of them. The black-robed man stood beside Xu Chengyu with his head lowered, his eyes full of respect. Master, subordinates Wang Jun, Wang Kai, Wang Wei. Subordinates Lin Wu, Lin Gong, Lin Shan. The names of the 2 brothers are quite impressive. First, let Elder Lin Qiong take you to familiarize yourself with the environment inside the sect. Wait for me to arrange it later. Yes. Without any hesitation, the 6 of them agreed to Xu Chengyu's order directly. He is very satisfied with this point, as any character summoned by the system has 100% loyalty to the host. Nevertheless, they still have their own independent thinking ability. The 6 of them just stood by Guan Guan, and the terrifying aura had already crushed Lin Qiong and the 2 of them out of breath. Until Xu Chengyu asked them to leave first, this oppressive feeling slowly disappeared. Both of them were very shocked in their hearts, and they could be certain that the people Xu Chengyu found were at least high-level beings in the Dao Palace. Even if it was facing Xu Qing before, it was far behind. Xu Chengyu was about to leave when he realized that his back-end and sect infrastructure had not yet been utilized. I can also accumulate some points for myself. The martial arts pavilion is being concretized. Please select the location for the host. Gathering spirit formation is being materialized. Please select a location for the host. After Xu Chengyu has made a good choice. A simple 6-story bronze tower appeared in front of everyone. The 3 major characters of Gongfa Pavilion are still constantly circulating. And the crazily increasing spiritual power concentration. The 6-rank gathering spirit formation can already achieve a spiritual power concentration twice that of the external world. 3 directions, directly covering the entire Qingyun sect. At this moment, Lin Qiong and Lin Qiu were already shocked and couldn't say anything. This. Does spiritual energy transform into water? Has the concentration of spiritual energy reached twice that of the outside world? In the entire Xuanhuan world, the number of array mages is even rarer compared to alchemists. Not only because of strict requirements for talent, but more importantly, the scarcity of formation materials. The 6th level spirit gathering formation, even if placed in the entire green domain, only exists among the top forces. Any gatekeeper can easily destroy the great Qin dynasty with just a sneeze. At this moment, the entire sect was attracted by the sudden movement. What's going on? How could the concentration of spiritual energy in the sect suddenly become so strong? My goodness! I already feel like I'm going to faint. Thick. It's just too thick. I have never experienced such pure spiritual power before. Damn it, I've broken through my bottleneck for a year. My mom. Wipe, as soon as I thought about breaking Xuanhuan, I said I was a genius monster. Lin Qiong and her companions were increasingly shocked, as they had already come to their senses. The action Xu Chengyu raised his hand earlier must have been setting up a gathering spirit formation. Otherwise, the spiritual power within the sect could not have achieved such an effect. Spiritual power turns into water, this is the symbol of the 6th rank gathering spirit formation. The entire Great Qin dynasty did not even have an array mage, and the royal family did not even have a 1st level soul gathering formation. The Qingyun sect nowadays is too advanced. The 2 of them understood very well that Qingyun sect had chosen the right person. Without Qin Sisi, there would be no Xu Chengyu. Without Xu Chengyu, there would be no Qingyun sect today. Taking a deep breath, the 2 continued to ask, Zong, what is that ancient pagoda? Gongfa Pavilion. It contains 99 volumes of ground-level techniques, which can be used by disciples from the inner sect to select suitable techniques. All inner sect elders can enter and select the lower-level martial arts of the heavenly rank. Disciple cultivates the ground level. If we had placed this before, it would have been something that neither Lin Qiong nor the others dared to think about. After all, Qingyun sect has been passed down for so many years, but it only has 3 volumes of lower-level martial arts. There is not even a mid-level ground level, let alone a heavenly level. Even the great Qin dynasty was not inferior to Qingjia. The 2 couldn't help but swallow their saliva. For now, Elder Lin Qiong will be in charge of this martial arts pavilion. After speaking, Xu Chengyu slowly disappeared before their eyes. The 2 brothers looked at each other. Big brother, the master trusts us. Give us all the important martial arts pavilion. Lin Qiu couldn't help but speak, his eyes full of emotion. Lin Qiong naturally understood the meaning behind these words. None of the 6 people Xu Chengyu had brought in earlier could be compared between the 2. But Xu Chengyu let the 2 of them take responsibility. The meaning behind it is already very clear. If the sect leader treats us like this, we will be considered dead in the future. We can't let the sect leader feel cold either. In the palace room, Qin Sisi stood by the window, with a hint of peace in her eyes. She can also feel the changes within Qingyun sect. Looking at the chubby boy who was already asleep in his arms, he murmured. Peace. It's great to have your father around. Chapter 10. To destroy my Qingyun sect. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 10 days passed in an instant. Amidst the bustling wasteland of people. Madam, is it necessary for you to personally go there? Lin Qiong spoke with a puzzled expression on her face. Since Xu Chengyu and Qin Sisi got married, their social status and class have changed. Qin Sisi's face was watery, as if she was thinking about something. After pondering for a moment, he slowly spoke up and said. My master's death is definitely related to these three masters. Even if it weren't for them, they would definitely know some of the inside story. I must avenge this, no matter who. This Lin Qiong was speechless and didn't know how to answer for a moment. Although he was unaware of Qin Sisi's identity, he was still aware that Xu Qin risked his life to bring her back to the sect. Now this kindness has never been forgotten. Lin Qiong was still very happy in her heart that Xu Qin could accept such a good disciple. He was well aware that Xu Chengyu would definitely know that Qin Sisi was representing Qingyun sect to the appointment this time. Thinking of this, Lin Qiong also felt relieved. Madam, we have arrived. Let's go inside. Quickly, the two of them had already entered the Linyang pavilion. The entire attic has a total of 6 floors, with the lower 3 floors all used for trading, while the upper 3 floors belong to the venue for 3 meetings. As soon as they appeared, their gaze fell on Qin Sisi. A hint of surprise flashed through the tacit understanding. They believe that Wang Bugong is the most likely one to rise to power within the Qingyun sect after Xu Qing's death. Now, such important memories have not even been seen, which makes them feel a bit puzzled. Qin Sisi's face was calm and there was no extra courtesy, so he sat directly with Lin Qiong in a seat opposite the others. What's going on? Is there no one left in Qingyun sect now? Is it enough for a little girl to attend such an important meeting? Are you not prepared to take our 3 senior colleagues seriously? Lin Qiong, should you give us an explanation about this? Among the 3, Lin Tian was the first to speak. Playing with the spirit cup in his hand, his gaze fixed on Lin Qiong and the others. As soon as these words were spoken, Lin Qiong's eyebrows couldn't help but furrow. I already knew this was the Hongmen banquet, and I thought the other party would still pretend in the past. Unexpectedly, are you ready to give the 2 a thumbs up? When Xu Qin was here, how could these 3 old guys dare to behave like this? You still have to wait politely. If Xu Qin doesn't come, who dares to sit? Now that tigers are not at home, are monkeys in the mountains called kings. What's going on? When my master was here, you didn't even dare to fart. Are you still pretending to be in front of me now? When did you become a senior? By your age. By your age. Or is it because of your poor talent? A Taoist temple of a certain age. If I were you, I would quickly find a place to hide and spend my old age. To avoid embarrassing oneself. Before Lin Qiong could speak, Qin Sisi beside her said calmly. That calm demeanor seemed to have never taken Lin Tian and others seriously. Lin Tian suddenly became anxious. Do you want to die? Do you really think that with your master, you can still live a lifetime? Believe it or not, I won't let you leave this door today. The spiritual power of the 3rd level of the Dao Palace on the body is still constantly flowing. The king's sword on the side also had some doubts. Unexpectedly, it's already this time. How dare Qingyun sect do this? Are you preparing to break the jar and throw it? Alright, Lao Lin, let's talk about any personal matters later. Now we should renegotiate the resource allocation of this deserted city in the future. Lin Tian finally calmed down some emotions. Their gaze unconsciously fell on Wang Jian in the middle position. The decision-making power now lies in the hands of the already powerful Wang family. Wang Jian's hand landed on the table in front of him, tapping lightly and rhythmically. Although he still had a calm expression, there was a hint of coldness in his eyes. Then let's not talk nonsense. In the future, the allocation of resources in this deserted city will be solely allocated by the three of us. As for the Qingyun sect, if you still want to survive in this deserted city, you can return half of the resources that Xu Chengyu took from us before. Not to mention that I don't care about old relationships, I'll give you 10 days to prepare. When time comes, if you're not ready, wait for the extinction of the sect. In just a few words, Wang Jian's ambition has been fully exposed. Winning the Qingyun sect is just the beginning, as long as you truly climb the big tree of the Yi family. Then he does not allow the existence of other two families in the deserted city. His royal family must be the heavens of this desolate city. Lin Qiong was naturally not surprised by Wang Jian's words, as she had already thought of them before coming. These three old guys will write about Xu Qing's death. If it were before, he would definitely not have come, but now the situation is different, with that one behind the scenes. He can't change the sky in the deserted city. There was no response to Wang Jian's words, but his gaze fell on Qin Sisi, who was the one who made the decision today. Regarding Wang Jian's coercion, although Qin Sisi didn't have any extra expression on her face, since Xu Qing's death, she has been holding a flame in her heart. She said coldly, "This abacus is quite good. Is this posture preparing to kick me out of Qingyun sect? What if I say no?" Ha ha ha. Wang Jian's face couldn't help but show a disdainful smile. With just a flick of his hand, the spiritual wooden table in front of him instantly flew up and burst open in the air. Today is the arrival of the heavenly King Laozi. You can't even leave this door, I said. Speak up. The fourth level spiritual power of the Dao Palace realm on Wang Jian's body suddenly erupted. The fabric between the arms was shattered, and bulging veins could still be faintly seen on the thick arms. The white light of the giant hammer in hand emerged. Lin Tianhua and Gu on the side did not expect that in just a few years, Wang Jian had broken through again. Originally, in the desolate city, the three of them had equal talent and strength, which was the only way to achieve the situation where the three families had previously stood out. Now that Wang Jian is breaking through at this time, there must be the Yi family behind it helping. This is also where the two of them have no choice, it's really difficult without a support. The figure of Wang Jian flickered in the air, and the pair of silver-white giant hammers, wrapped in an arc, attacked and killed Qin Sisi and his companions. Feeling the terrifying oppression, Lin Qiong was clearly a bit panicked at this moment. He didn't expect that at this time, the people around Xu Chengyu hadn't appeared yet. Not to mention it's just a palace level 4 king sword, even with the addition of the other two, it's not enough time. Although his strength has greatly improved nowadays, he is only a half-step cultivation in the palace realm, and the difference between him and Wang Jian is really too great. There is no way to resist at all. Madam. I'll hold on to this old guy later, you hurry up and leave. The people around the patriarch should be around here. Before Lin Qiong could finish speaking, she was interrupted by Qin Sisi. She took a step and the black snake sword with a bronze background was already tightly held in her hand. Number 34, no need. The spiritual power on the body is also erupting at this moment. The spiritual power of the second-level Dao Palace is at a glance. With a single sword, it transformed into a blue sword spirit. Seeking death. Wang Jian did not expect that Qin Sisi had already entered the realm of the Dao Palace. He had heard before that Xu Qing's personal disciples had strong talents. At first glance, it's simply terrifying. But judging from her appearance, Qin Sisi cannot exceed 30 years old. At such a young age, he has already broken through to the realm of the Dao Palace, and no one in the royal family can surpass his talent. Now he understood why Xu Qing didn't hesitate to offend Yi Kun in the cave and took away the Linghongji tree. Bang! A loud bang. The spiritual power of silver and black is constantly intertwined in the air. Just the moment of contact. The figure of Wang Jian was bounced away. How could this be possible?